It's time to start our 2024 travel adventure series.
Yay! We're in Van Horn, Texas. This is the deciding point of whether we go straight on through to South Padre Island, the beach, my boat,
or we take a 3-hour detour and go to Big Bend National Park.
So let's go in, have a bite to eat,
and a margarita, and decide what we're doing.
We'll let you know.
Let's go. You voted and Big Bend won as our first stop on the summer 2024 travel adventure.
To be completely honest, I didn't understand what the attraction was.
The bugs are a pretty big deal.
Well, the mountains are a pretty big deal at Big Bend.
Check this out.
I was expecting it to be a remote desert terrain, pretty much what you find in a lot of Arizona.
We arrived Monday afternoon, set up camp in the town of Terlingua, and headed straight to the park. Here's how big Big Bend truly is. Big Bend is 1,194 square miles in the Chihuahuan Desert. It has 118 miles along the Mexican-US border. It is named after the huge U-turn that the Rio Grande makes here, and it has 4 visitor centers.
Equipped with our national park map and their newspaper called the Paisano, we made our first stop at Panther Junction Visitor Center to grab more intel and a stamp for our park passport. I love that program. While we were there in May, 2 of the visitor centers were already closed for the summer season. However, the camp stores were open for groceries and water. Make sure you check out the National Park's website for their alerts and closures before heading out. When we checked it, it read, Extreme Heat Warning. Big Bend is a hot desert park. Temperatures will reach 100+ degrees by late morning and remain at extreme dangerous levels until long after sunset. Hikers should stay off the trails in the afternoon, stay hydrated, and limit exposure.
I perused the Paisano to produce a game plan. That's interesting. Luckily, they lay it all out for you. If you have 1 day, 3 days, or a week. With only 2.5 days to explore, we jumped in the Jeep, flashed our lifetime annual parks pass, and packed in the activities.
The way I see it, there are 3 primary things to do in Big Bend. Hike, take scenic drives, and explore the Rio Grande River. Day 1, which was really only a half day, we took the scenic drive through Chisos Canyon, walked to the Window View Trail, and then headed back to the RV to see how it was managing the heat. It wasn't looking good. The refrigerator was crashing and the coach temp was climbing. Mike did his best MacGyver, and if you don't know what that term means, ask your parents. He applied foil to the windows, hung blackout blankets, and stuffed pillows in the skylights. We packed the refrigerator with ice and proceeded to eat our way through all of our food. Day 2. Since we were seeing the temps climb to triple digits, I seriously didn't think we'd hike and expected the visit to be all scenic driving. Nope.
I had read a post about a rock formation called Balanced Rock, so we got up early and hit the trail, but not early enough. We traveled on Grapevine Springs Road for about 6.2 miles on an unpaved road. The unpaved gravel road turned to a washboard and eventually a 4-wheel drive. As our river guide said, this is the kind of road that costs you money. The relatively easy 2-mile round-trip hike wound through a sandy wash and boulder field. The last quarter-mile challenged us. We scrambled up some rocks and boulders. That's cool. And somebody made a cairn. Look at that rock, how it's... We started our hike at 9, and it took us 2 hours. It was so worth it and provided some fun photo ops.
If you go, Grapevine Hills Trail to Balanced Rock hike facts. First, start earlier, like at 7 or 7:30. Wear good hiking shoes with traction. Bring 1 to 2 liters of water per person. The hike is 1 to 2 hours in duration, and the drive is on a rough 6-mile gravel road. There's one advantage of coming to Big Bend. The end of May, 100+ heat. There's no one up here, and we just hiked to Balanced Rock, and we're the only ones up here.
The best part about being here is that it's in the shade.
I don't know how long I want to stand under this big rock, though.
This is awesome.
It's pretty wild, but the views are amazing. Look at that.
There's a secret hideout inside the balancing rock here. See, listen to what happens when I knock on it. Day 2.2. By 11 o'clock, the temperatures were hitting 100, which called for a scenic drive. But first, some gas.
There are 2 gas stations in the park, and surprisingly, not ridiculously priced. I would still suggest starting out with a full tank of gas, plenty of water, and snacks. We cranked the AC in the Jeep, took the 30-mile Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive to the magnificent Santa Elena Canyon to cool off in the mighty Rio Grande. What happened to the water? Oh my goodness. We climbed back into the Jeep to see the temps at 113. I couldn't breathe. At this point in the afternoon, we were growing genuinely concerned about Kitty BooBoo in the RV. If the park has a power failure and the AC goes down, she wouldn't survive the heat.
Luckily, she was fine, but the refrigerator was still diving. So that called for a dinner out at the Starlight Theatre. On our way home, we saw the sunset at Terlingua's ghost town and cemetery.
Mike, you're dressed for something.
Yeah, guess what we're doing today?
We're going rafting.
Day 3. We're so glad that we arranged for a float trip down the Rio Grande with Big Bend Boating and Hiking Company. Amanda, our river guide, took our small group on the Hot Springs Canyon tour. They provided all the gear for the 6-mile canoe trip.
You guys know what country's on the other side of the Rio Grande?
Canada?
Yeah! That's the wrong one. That's the other one. For the most part, I'm going to try to be up front. It's shallow in some spots, so you're going to want to follow like exactly where I go. Throughout the day, I really don't care if you want to pull over at any point and jump in the water. cool off, we're gonna have to swim today. That's like the only way we're gonna stay cool. And we just kept driving further and further away from the hospital. So we want to, you have to be cautious of how hot you're getting. And you have to be drinking water. You have to be peeing. If you're not peeing, that means you're getting dehydrated. And again, we just kept getting further and further away from that hospital. Sound good? Yeah. Alright, let's go.
USA, Mexico.
We enjoyed a leisurely paddle down the river to Dugout Wells Oasis for a bite to eat and soak in the historic hot springs.
Nice picnic area on the river. The only palm trees that I've seen. Now we're gonna go to the hot springs. All right, what do you think? All right, babe, you getting in the hot springs?
We're getting in.
Let's do it. Nice, cool 105. It is way cooler in the river. And there's even fish chewing at us.
We need to pay extra for that. We are bathing in the Rio Grande.
I love for travel.
And our guide.
Woohoo! This is my office.
Our friends from France. It's a swimming spot over there, huh? Got some action footage here. He's big, he's in there.
Then we continued the canoe trip among high canyon walls through narrow rapids and some more swims in the river. It really was the best way to experience Big Bend and the Rio Grande. Special thanks to Aaron and Amanda for letting us tag along.
That was our 2.5 days in Big Bend. Would we go back?
Absolutely. But we do suggest you avoid the hot summer months and visit from October through April to truly and thoroughly explore what this park has to offer.
If you enjoy traveling with us, subscribe to see the rest of our summer 2024 travel adventures.
Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Safe travels.